Call this meeting to order. Determine that there's a quorum present. Commissioner Kerr Wardlaw is here. Commissioner Vasquez. Commissioner Garcia.
Here.
Fernando. There we go. Commissioner Flores. And myself, we have a quorum. If y'all don't mind, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And we'll just start all over in the order. Kerr, if you don't mind, Commissioner Wardlaw.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Commissioner. If y'all don't mind, have a moment of silence for the individuals that lost their lives in the attack at New Orleans. It just seems like this is getting, it's just happening more and more. President Carter. President Carter also. Thank you, David. Thank y'all. Thank you. And before we get started under county judge's comments, I want to welcome the two new commissioners to our court. Thank y'all for throwing your hat in the ring. Thank y'all for being here, and I look forward to the next, at least to the next 2 years. All right. Thank y'all so much. Ms. Chapoy, yesterday's ceremony, I want to thank you for that. It just, Ms. Reyes, did she leave already?
Yes.
But I want to thank you and your staff for everything that y'all did and have done for us during the election process and yesterday for the swearing-in ceremony. Thank you so much. We'll go to item 5. We do have them approving and amending minutes from previous meetings. Motion to approve. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? And I'll slow down here a little bit, and I'll ask for comments each one of them now, in case we have concerns. Sorry about that. Motion carries 5-0. Citizens' comments, we do not have any. Approving monthly reports from elected officials. Motion to approve. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Vasquez. Do you have any questions? We're good. All right. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 9. We do have auditor's report. Discussion possible action to approve the auditor's report.
Did we skip 8, Judge?
Yeah. Did I skip? Yeah, you did. I sure did. You want to go ahead and do that? Not that those don't get paid.
Maybe the auditor wouldn't mind.
No, we probably need to do it. Yeah.
Payroll is attached, so maybe everybody wouldn't mind.
We're gonna go to 8, because the county judge skipped it. Item 8, approving bills for payment. Motion to approve is presented.
I'll second that, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Vasquez. Anybody have any questions on that?
No.
Nope. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 9, discussion possible action to approve auditor's report. Everything good to go?
The reports are in there. Everything was in compliance.
Compliance?
And
Motion
if
to
they have
approve.
things that were not are going to be taken care of.
Okay.
Second that, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Vasquez. Anybody have any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 10 and 11, we have none. So we'll just.
Well, let's go back to number 10. Sorry about that. I just passed out a piece of paper. It came in late. This is certification of revenue, $50,000 from HIDA. They reallocated some resources for a vehicle, so we can go ahead and do that. So the motion
that
will
we were
probably
dealing
be.
with last week or the week before.
I'm sorry?
This is one that we were dealing with.
It was. It was.
For
So
the
this-
sheriff's office, Mr. Mayor?
It is, to go in the equipment line
Let me
item.
go ahead and read item
HIDA
10
grant.
then real quick. Item 10, discussion possible action on certification of revenue.
Make a motion to approve, Judge. Second.
Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. Is there any other discussion on this, other than we just need to, it's just something that,
That's it.
that we've been dealing with? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 11, do we have any budget adjustments? Since I have none
Not
in my
yet,
budget.
I guess we will later on.
Okay. Item 11, no action needs to be taken. Item 12, I know that we do not have a treasurer's report, so no action needs to be taken. Item 13, discussion possible action applying for TxDOT's 2025 Transportation Alternative Program call for projects deadline to apply February 2025. We'd had a couple of projects that we talked about. One of them was maybe the overpass or something going over 90 east. The other one was maybe to try to apply for sidewalks along Senegas Road. And I think in visiting with Commissioner Wardlaw, he had said last week or 2 weeks ago in visiting with him that he might probably throw in the hat maybe sidewalks from Chavita School.
Chavita School down Broadbent.
Chavita School lies outside of the city limits. It lies up on 277 going towards Eagle Pass, and there's no sidewalks to get it back into the community. And that might be something to look at also. Those were, I would think, those were the three projects that I know about. I don't know, commissioners, if y'all have anything else that we could look at.
Those were the main ones.
And I think, precinct, in those discussions, there was nothing in, that had come up yet in precinct 3. It looks like everybody, all the other precincts had something. So in precinct 3, I think we'd also talked about maybe, if there might be a need for sidewalks or whatever at the school or something like that, but,
Yeah, we can figure it out.
yeah, if you can come up with something, and then we can bring it back to the court. They'll be back, Commissioner Wardlaw and Commissioner Garcia will be out, in 2 weeks, but we can have something for you more definite, probably, a month from now. Would that be okay? Or what are you looking at?
Okay.
It would still be in January.
Yeah, all right. The county is eligible to submit 2 projects. And at the end of the day, TxDOT will fund no more than 1 per applicant. So what we have here actually is a period to submit in a timely manner a pre-application to TxDOT by the date in February. And then TxDOT will review those applicants or those applications from each individual applicant and will either be invited or not invited to submit a full-blown application. So it's like a pre-application review during the month of February and March.
When you're talking about applicants, you mean counties or
County,
counties? Okay.
county, cities.
So this is limited to certain projects only?
Yeah, you can submit a maximum of 2, but at the end of the day, they'll only fund 1. Yeah.
Carl, would it be to our benefit maybe because the overpass, we've talked about it as a county and we've talked over 90. We've talked about it as a county, we've talked about it as a city also, that trying to apply for something. Would it be beneficial maybe to go ask the city if that's something that they might want to apply for? That way it sort of takes it off our plate. That way, because they get an opportunity to apply also,
Sure.
And
And they could have a separate project. Absolutely.
And it is something that I think the county's even, at one point offered a letter of support for it to the city for them to apply for.
If your project demonstrates connectivity between an existing path and to say a school, that really does enhance your effort. In other words, if you've got a piece in there where there's no sidewalk and kids are walking to school and you want to make it a complete connectivity event or application, that really does enhance your effort. So
May want to take a look at that.
So we want this project through the city, Judge?
Well,
I have no problem with that.
My deal would be is maybe we send an email as soon as sometime today, send it to the city and see what their thoughts are on what, and maybe what they're going to apply for. And there's no sense in us applying for the same thing. I know it's been on their radar also. It's
We
gone
need to
before council.
compete amongst ourselves.
Yeah,
Right.
so if this is something that they would like to undertake, then it comes off our plate. We can give them my letter of support, and then we can submit 2 other projects.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And Judge, a letter of support from the school district as well?
Yes, sir. We can do that, as soon as, and that's a good idea. As soon as we, figure out which projects. Well, and let's do this. Why don't we I'll go ahead and send a letter an email to the city, to the school, and ask them which one of the projects that were just mentioned, that they would like to support, or they think would be, more beneficial to the school. That work?
Okay.
No action on this one, Carl? We'll just with that, would be good? Okay. Moving on to item 14, discussion possible action approving resolution to apply for Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Voting Access Planning Grant. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez.
I'll second that for discussion.
Second, Commissioner Flores.
I've just got a question. What does this consist of, money-wise?
Okay, before we move forward on this, there is a little discussion. I did reach out to Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. So originally, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the plan was to somehow coordinate with the National Park Service out there and do some improvements out there at Lake Homicide. Unless the land that the improvements are going to be installed on belong to the county, the application would not be eligible.
Yeah, and I think we could get a lease. Could we get a lease for it, or it had to be owned by the county? Because that's probably something we need to look into, Carl, because if the only way that we can apply for money is to get the land and it belong to the county, that's gonna be a hurdle that we're not gonna be able to jump over.
Right.
Now, if we could get a lease on it for a certain amount of years in order for the improvements to exist, that might be something that, if we can ask that question, and get that answer before we just start throwing a lot of work at it, throwing a lot of man hours at it. Because when you sent the email, if we're gonna own it, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. The applicant has to demonstrate and prove up ownership of the property that the improvements are going to be placed on prior to the application date.
Now, on that boat ramp in Box Canyon, I don't know where we stand with that property next to it, if it's...
I can say everything was 1040 something or whatever that elevation is, anything below that belongs to the federal government anyway. So anything touching the water, getting close to the water, belongs to the federal government. So we won't have a say in the land. That's how come if we could ask the question, and it's going to be really difficult to apply for this grant if we have to own the property. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But if we could get some type of lease, I'm sure that the federal government would help us improve their land,
Exactly.
at no cost to them.
Yeah. So we all got excited thinking we could really enhance the efforts out there. And then, after visiting and communicating with the staff of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, here recently, just before the holidays, they brought it to our attention that, the ownership deal could be a deal breaker, for this application period. That's something we could work through for future activity, but then we may want to pursue that. Yeah.
And, we have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez and Commissioner Flores, to go apply for it. And the only way that we would apply for it is if we get that answer and it's to our benefit. If we don't get the answer, then we won't apply for it.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 15, discussion possible action to establish deadline to submit mitigation projects for hazard mitigation plan. This is something that, we've been working on. Roland was supposed to reach out to y'all, and I could talk to a couple of y'all, but we've had new people come in. We probably if we can set a deadline, for the end of this month, the third meeting this month, to make a decision, and we just need to make sure that we get with Roland, and Roland gets with y'all, and, come up with areas within y'all's precincts that we have issues that could be mitigated, whether it be flooding, whether it be traffic controls, or whatever.
Okay.
All right, and then what we'll do is we'll put an item on the agenda to come back to the court, the third meeting. I guess I need to refer to it as a date.
The 29th, I believe.
The 29th?
Yes, sir.
It'd be good if we bring in Roland, Judge,
Yes, sir.
that meeting.
Yeah, the 29th of January, I'll, get with Roland also right now and have him, get with y'all. That way we can bring projects back and finalize them on the 29th of January. That way we can move forward with our hazard mitigation plan. If y'all are okay with that.
I'm okay.
All right? All right. Discussion possible action on hiring part-time help for county judge office. We have Roland that's been out, or not Roland, we have Tom that's been out. And then, right now I've got, another young lady in the front that she's out. She had a baby and she's out. So I need help answering the phone, part-time help. Anita gets paid, what? Part-time help.
We have them at $10, some are 11.
And then we have some from 10 to 15.
Yes, sir.
If we could set maybe a $13 an hour rate, if we could, and then part-time, in order to qualify for part-time and not full-time, up to how many hours can they go? I just want all this
29 a
said.
week.
How many?
29 hours a week.
Okay. We have funds within payroll, especially with Tom being gone and a couple other positions, but if we could get about 29 hours a week, if we can hire somebody at $13 an hour, probably for the next, 3 months, whatever that figures out to, do that right now.
Motion to approve and, hire part-time help for the judge's office, starting pay at $13 an hour.
For 29 hours a week for the next 3 months.
29 hours a week for the next 3 months.
Yes, ma'am, Juanita.
Can we classify it as a temporary?
Yes.
Because part-time will have to be.
No, let's do temporary then.
It'll be a
Motion accepts?
temporary position.
Motion accepts. Okay.
Second,
Second?
Judge.
Okay, so I have a motion. Commissioner Flores, second. Commissioner Vasquez. Y'all have any questions? We okay?
Sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. You walked in just in time. We went to the item. Item 17, discussion possible action to ratify donation of $5,000 from Texas Community Bank to be used for a battered woman shelter. This is something that, we delivered a check. Are we good?
We are good. So this will be another certification of revenues. We're going to certify the donation to be used exclusively for the battered women shelters. I believe it's to be appliances. Is that
Yeah,
right?
they turned in a list for bunk beds, sheets, even a refrigerator, and, a couple of other items. I know that, purchasing, we'd already gone through the process of, approving some linen and some other stuff already through there that they'd asked for before we knew we were gonna get a check. At that point, we've stopped, visiting with Melissa. We've sort of stopped everything until we figure out, we've got the 5,000. Now we're gonna use the 5,000, and then hopefully by then, it'll be, winter gardens.
I just found out that we didn't go purchase the linens and comforters and all of that yet.
Okay, so the funds that we have, could go to that towards the bunk beds and all that.
Right.
Okay, so it's gonna help.
Approve, Judge.
Second, a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. Anybody have any other questions?
No.
We have, we've been working with, Esperanza First had been with us for a couple years, to help with the battered woman shelter. And then, basically, we decided, and they, both of us, mutual agreement, that they wouldn't be running it anymore. Again, it was mutual. And we went out for bids. We did receive a bid from Winter Garden. And we've been working with them, trying to come up with a contract and an MOU in order how to run it. The services that this group is going to provide, is more than I think what we've ever had. So I signed it last week. Well, we already had permission from the court, authorization from the court, and then we were waiting on Winter Garden to sign it. There was a bunch of, appliances and furniture that needed to be replaced, and this is what the $5,000 is for.
Thank you.
And I did see, Judge, that they did sign and return that
Okay,
contract.
so we're good.
So we're good as of January 1st.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. You got something for us?
Or else something sweet. To start the new year. Y'all can distribute those.
Each one for the commissioners. There we go.
I don't know if y'all mind taking a picture?
No.
We've already given you a check. They've been
So I'm ending with
This is our second donation to the battered women's shelter. The first one we gave was when Simon Sotelo was there. We did it to buy some furniture, so we think it's a really worthy cause, and we're happy to do it.
There we go. Don't touch me.
Turn this way.
Good stuff.
One more. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sylvia. Appreciate it.
Sir, and congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
There's nothing in it. She was pretending. Yeah. Okay, item 18. Discussion possible action on setting aside $25,000 for Veterans Office to help take local veterans to appointments and doctor visits. Motion to approve.
Second.
Money out of contingency.
Money out of contingency. Yes, sir.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. The individuals that are gonna be hired here, are going to be, part-time. We already have some individuals that work for us part-time that are drivers. They'll just be added, to the county dollar, not the grant dollar, the grant funds that we have for what we already do to Kerrville and San Antonio. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. Any questions?
No.
All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for what you're doing for our veterans.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to update the court real quick on what we've done the last quarter. So we've seen a total of 590 veterans. We've had 133 new veterans that we've started applying for benefits. We've had a little almost 600 walk-ins, transported, made 45 trips to Audie Murphy and 38 trips to Kerrville. And we've attended 17 events throughout the community. And our social media impact, we went from 300 to 1,600 followers in the time that we've taken over. So we're very grateful, and we're striving to really serve our veterans under the flag of the county, and we appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Trevino had said that he wanted to come to the court and give us updates on a regular basis. That way we would understand what he's doing. I know that also, Commissioner Vasquez, you had a group that wanted to come in and help with services. And then Enrique was gonna reach out to them and.
Right, it's, and Judge, give, everybody a little, some wording on it. It's the Department of U.S. of Veterans Affairs. They're in Washington. They've got offices located all over the country. And of course, the office space that they wanted to have, the discussion I had with you judges, have a physical therapist, full-time pharmacist, and a full-time doctor, and of course, 5 other support people, for whatever the veterans, here in Valverde County might need. So I think it's awesome.
That would be incredible for our veteran community. It would give access to a lot of them. They just physically can't travel, so that would be amazing. We get that done. That would be a game changer for our community.
And I know he sent you some information. If you need any more, let us know or let him know. And, I mean, it's one of those deals, that way we're not duplicating services.
Yes, sir.
And if the services are offered here locally, like you said, there's a lot of individuals that it's just hard for them to travel. It doesn't matter whether we're offering a ride or not, it's just hard for them to travel.
Yes, sir, and I'd like to thank Commissioner Flores and Mr. Vasquez for providing food and water and groceries to our some of our disabled veterans that are underprivileged. We've been able to coordinate together to make sure that they have food in their refrigerator, so very grateful for that.
Well, again, thank you, sir, for everything you do.
Yes, sir.
Anything we can do as this court and the previous courts have demonstrated, I mean, when it comes to our veterans, doors always open.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Item 19, discussion possible action on hiring an individual to do criminal and civil cases for Precinct 2 Justice of the Peace. This court, if y'all don't mind, give y'all a little bit of background. This court approved in November, if I'm not mistaken, we approved a salary of about $38,400 and some odd dollars, and we hired Mr. Salinas, George Salinas, which used to be the JP, to help with magistration and inquest. We are waiting on two different numbers, a number from each one from the state in order for him to be certified, for him to begin to work. He's done his training, done all his training. I want to thank, Connie, their Justice of the Peace 2's office. She's helped with all his training and trying to get him certified. But we are waiting on two numbers in order for him to be able to do the inquest and magistration. He already has the training and will have to go to some follow-up training to help with criminal and civil cases. What I would be asking the court for, if the court would be okay with it, would be for another $38,467.50, which would come up to the total salary of the JP. That money would be paid out of salaries, the savings that we have in salaries. And that would help our JPs, Precinct 1, 3, and 4, have been taking on all the load that Justice of the Peace Precinct 2's office has had. The other JPs have been taking on that load, but I do think that it's just a good idea for the court to assume some responsibility and get somebody else hired to help do the work that is coming and the load that's coming out of the Justice of the Peace to our courtroom.
Judge, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If we were to hire somebody to help out, once Mr. Salinas gets certified, I mean, what's going to happen to this position?
Well, what I would ask for is that we keep Mr. Salinas, hire him in to do the rest of the work as JP2 for the simple reason that he's already done it. And anything else that anybody else needs to catch up on, he's already closer to getting his certifications. So he would be at a salary of $76,935 a year. As soon as our Justice of the Peace, Tony Foss, is able to come back to work, then this position would go away, and then Commissioner Foss would continue as JP Precinct 2. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Well, yes, I have. The other question is, it's not only for Precinct 2 or JP2, it's for the whole JPs over there.
Well, if we hire somebody to do the casework and do the work for Justice of the Peace Precinct 2, it is going to help Justice of the Peace Precinct 1, 3, and 4, because right now they're doing not only their job, but they're doing whatever else is coming out of Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 court, whether it be the magistrations. They've been on, I just looked up and saw Judge Gonzalez here. He's even helped with the magistrations and even some of the inquests. But right now we have three JPs doing the work of what normally would take 4 JPs. And it's just, in my opinion, we're asking them, and none of them have complained, but I do think that, if we would step up and hire this other position in order to give them a little bit of breathing room and get them back to some sense of normal.
Judge Lopez, what do you think of this position? Will it help you guys out?
Yes, through budget, Commissioner Fisher, because especially when Judge Salinas is done with certification, I've got some on my hearings I'm holding, because I don't know whether they're gonna put them on rotation, and I would hate to put my hearings on my calendar, and then Judge Salinas will be in a rotation. That means that I'm gonna have to postpone all my hearings for right now, I'm holding on to my hearings. I don't know about the other judges, but as far as for me, I'm telling my girls, hold on to my hearings.
And it's affecting all of them.
Yeah, as soon as we get Judge Salinas on board, we'll start, setting up my hearings.
Where do we get this money, Judge?
It'd come out of the savings that we have in payroll from other accounts. We haven't.
Is there any way we can just go out of contingency out of this simply because your position, which was a hefty position, is
Why don't you
already
come up? Why don't you come up? That way we can hear you. I guess what he's trying to get at is if we take it out of contingency, later on, if we need more money back in contingency, we can go back and hit some of the positions that are vacant and move that money back into contingency. Pretty much.
And at what rate, Judge, are we gonna earn this percent?
It would be at the same salary that the JP
That the
is,
JP.
which is $76,935.99.
I'll make a motion, Judge, that we approve, this position and with the monies coming out of contingency.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. Y'all have any questions? It's a lot to take on the
So,
first day.
so basically, you're trying to raise George Salinas' salary to $76,000.
What
So
we're
you can
gonna
do the
do,
full-time
George Salinas
JP.
was hired at $38,468.49, or 50 cents. And the reason he was hired at that is because we were trying to get him only to do inquest and magistrations. But at that point, we thought it would help. And it is, it's because as soon as he gets certified, he can get in the rotation. The problem is that we have civil and criminal cases in
Okay.
JP Precinct 2 that all the other JPs are taking on.
So he was hired on at half
Half
pay
the
because he was doing half the
half-
work.
half the-
And now you want him to do the full work and you
Everything
want the
that goes
full
through the
salary.
justice and police court.
Okay, I'm good.
aware of the situation. I've visited with him.
Yeah, if, as soon as Judge Foss is able to come back, that position, George's position, Mr. Salinas' position will go away.
Okay, I'm good. Okay.
Commissioner Wardlow, no further?
I'm good with it. I've actually visited with Mr. Salinas.
All right. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. I put this on, don't really know, didn't have anything new. Item 20, discussion possible action on Second and National Bridge. My understanding is the city still, from the last meeting that I had this discussion, was they're looking at the bridge to be placed in the same place as it was before on the north side of town. They were looking at a different route that would not affect, the recharge zone, that hole in the ground that's out there. I don't know what that route is. I was told that sometime in January, they would be presenting, a route. This court, a couple of years ago, voted, not to support any route or a bridge that would go on the north side, or north side of town, basically from the international bridge that we have now and the dam.
Okay.
Anything that the court voted and passed, anything that would go in that area that the court would not support. The court, has hired, attorneys, and we visited with them. Their conversation with us was, let's wait till they pick something, in order to be able to file something or move forward. And there's no sense in trying to move forward with anything until they actually pick a route and say, this is the route, this is where the bridge is going to be, and it's definite. So that's where we're at right now. There was a route that I presented to individuals out there because, we thought, attorneys thought, everybody thought that it would be, we need to present them a route that we might be able to look at. And we've done that, but right now we're waiting on something, from the city.
Okay.
Okay, so as soon as the city, votes and takes action, it'll be brought back to the court, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We do have attorneys in place, And we do have a court order as to what action we should take, moving forward. If that action needs to change, then, at that time, we can do that. But we need to wait on the city to take action. I didn't know whether y'all had any other questions. I just figured I'd put it on there now in case y'all had something. We good? Okay, no action. 21, discussion possible action on projects by Valverde County. Put this on there, just to give everybody an idea of what is it that everybody's working on. And at any point that y'all have something in here, you let me know y'all want to talk about it. I know that in Precinct 1, Commissioner Wardlaw, you're in the process, and we're in the meetings, the last couple of meetings on the warehouse that y'all are building in Precinct 1 and trying to get it moved forward. We've asked the state for base material that is out in Precinct 1, but for all the precincts. We've not got an answer on that one. We did ask the state for the materials that were out in Precinct 2 and in Precinct 3, right there at 277, 377. That material belongs to the contractor, and they moved that one big pile. The other pile, they don't know what they're going to do with, but as soon as we get an answer on that, we'll get it back to y'all. One of the projects that we had talked about, which lies in Precinct 1, the county purchased around 2,800 acres, which is known as the SE Ranch. We've talked about, the court had talked about everything between 277, 290 along SL 79 towards the base. That, you know, we have a grant right now that we're applying for out there, $3 million grant out there. We don't have a complete answer or a definite answer on that yet, but the property where the storage yard is in Precinct 1, everything on that side of SL 79, you know, not to be developed, but the court had talked about, and everything from SL 79 back towards Del Rio, the city limits, maybe looking to check and see if we wanted to develop that, either for an industrial park. We paid $6 million for all 2,700 acres, 2,800 acres. But that property right there, it lies outside of the rectangle. I call it the rectangle, but basically the joint airport zoning. JASB. It lies outside of that. So it might be something that the court would consider. I know Commissioner Flores has brought it up a couple of times. In order to be able to bring our money back, to get our money back, maybe be able to develop it in conjunction with the base to make sure we don't interfere with the base. The cities come to us and wanted to know if we would consider maybe an industrial park out there, which would make all the sense in the world if the bridge was on that side.
Right.
Just throw that out there. So, but again, we can, if y'all want, if this court would like to see about trying to develop it, we can go out and maybe get some appraisals on it, bring them back to the court to see what would be the best use for that property. We can get Carlos Velarde to bring it up on the computer, give us maps in a couple of weeks or in a couple of meetings later on when y'all are here, if that's the route y'all want to take, in order to look and check and see if it would be feasible to develop, and if it would and if it wouldn't affect the base adversely. Y'all are okay with that? Y'all okay with that?
I'm good.
Okay. Take care of that. In Precinct 2, Lawson, Commissioner Vasquez did the road between Dodson and Lawson. Between Chapman and Lawson, extended Dodson. With that, we've already got approval. Y'all have approval already from the city to begin work on Lawson, in order to mitigate the flooding on Lawson, which consists of a concrete ditch along Lawson, a low water crossing on Lawson. And y'all have already gone out for bids, already awarded the contract. We were just waiting on the city because we were lacking some information that the city was requesting. We've given it to them, and the city's already gotten back to us that y'all could now proceed. Is that correct?
And I mentioned we'll be getting started, just probably within 2 to 4 weeks. That's my intention to
Okay.
get that project.
And then I think, part of that process was to notify the individuals that use the road, put some signage up and
Right.
stuff like that.
Want to putting something out there.
Okay.
Everybody to know.
Sports complex, yes, sir.
So give an update to the court. We're moving along pretty good on the sports complex. We're clearing that site environmentally. We did get a reply back from the Texas Historical Commission, a couple of days right before Christmas. And they are going to require us to do a archaeological survey on the approximately 14 acres north of the football field. That area on the east and west side of the football field is not going to be required to have an archaeological survey done because it's been pre-disturbed. But on the country there, just north of the football field, is pretty much undeveloped. They're going to require an archaeological survey on that. So we'll be moving forward with that process here this week. Yeah.
Carl, in saying that on that project, the environmental, is that gonna end up costing us more money?
Sir?
Is that gonna end up costing us more money?
Well, we've got money in there budgeted for that. Yeah, so we just got to get a quote from someone who has the credentials to be able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And they provided a list of firms that have the credentials.
That they'd accept?
Yeah.
Okay. And we have $2 million grant, thanks to
Right.
Tony Gonzalez, our congressman. He helped secure that. And then this court set aside $2 million that we borrowed in order for the project. And then we've also asked for another $1.5 million through the second round of grants for lighting and stuff like that. That was not on the first round of grants.
That's correct.
And we don't have a response on that one.
And May, just for your information, there's going to be, with the next Congress fixing to go into session, there's going to be another opportunity. So kind of be thinking about that.
Okay. And we'll get to his also, because we have another $750,000 that we're still waiting on a grant in precinct 4.
Correct. We ought to know something about that in the month of March.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Both that one and the one at Lawson.
So do we need to start coming up with projects that the precincts might want for this next round of funding?
Yes. The congressman office already reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of a heads up, that's coming down after the first of the year. And so the first of the year is here. So yeah, they're going to be wanting to come up with proposals between now and the next 60 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going back to the sports complex, was this supposed to be a joint project with the school or just county?
The school has given us, and at any point that I miss up here, you let me know. The school supplying the land.
Here's the land.
They've given us the land, and in order to apply for the grant was applied for by the county with letters of support from the city and school and everybody else.
Yes, sir.
So, the monies that we're putting into it, we're going to put in, I hope this answers your question, we're going to put in another $2 million out of county funds into this project. The county, the city, the school is the one putting up the land. So, right now, what the school has in place, is the land, not only for the sports complex, but also for the parking, before you get to the stadium. I think we've said that we would do the parking, but the school's going to provide the materials.
They would provide the material, we'd do that, the actual part.
Yeah. Right. But we are putting in another $2 million above what the school, but by what the school's putting in the land and putting in, the materials for the parking area for all this.
Yes. Commissioner Vasquez invited me to the site, about a month ago. We went out there and took detailed pictures of the proposed site and all the land. We got no comments back from the Indian tribes. We've already coordinated with all them. We coordinated with the Texas Historical Commission. U.S. Fish and Wildlife. We're not impacting any endangered species out there. The only
None that we can find.
contingency is to do that, an archaeological survey, north of the football field. Yeah,
Okay, so we're good?
we're good.
Okay.
And if I may, not to interrupt, but I'll give you an update on your $1 million grant for Comstock, San Felipe Pastures and Vega Verde Road Extension Waterline Project. The county should actually receive notice from TDA for that actual $1 million contract. That'll come in a DocuSign agreement for the county judge to sign. That's pending. We're waiting on that. Those funds should be released in the month of January with a start date of February 1, 2025. We're sitting on go. We've already cleared all 3 sites. We've got 3 different environmental reviews. We've got one at Comstock, one at San Felipe Pastures, and one at Vega Verde Road. The Historical Commission, Indian tribes, everybody has given us concurrence that we're not impacting anything out there, any archaeological site or any above ground resources. So we can't submit the environmental until the county actually receives that contract. But once we receive that contract, we'll be able to go in there and upload all that onto the state agency portal. And within 30 days, all 3 of those projects have been done. So we're way ahead of the curve on that.
Now that you bring up the grants, I know that the county had set aside 300 and some odd, 355 or something, 355,000 for Escondido. And then the conversations that we had was that we'd be able to look for some grants maybe out there, since that project is already a shovel-ready type project, to help with the difference between the 355 and the 800 and some odd thousand. I know that we're going to go out for a rebid on that project and reach out to some other individuals and get some help from the city on who they might recommend other than the 2 people that have already bid, in order to try to get a bid that's not $500,000 above what, above the money that we have. But the process is also that we're gonna look for grant funds. And then that way, if we get another proposal and it comes in at that, and that's what it is, then this court will have to make the decision to move forward or not, and how we're going to move forward. My opinion has been that, don't matter, what it costs at this point. We've handed a project to the city that they're not happy with, and in order to protect the millions of dollars that we already have buried, we need to finish that project with whatever comes up.
I may just add, there's a financial assistance workshop in Corpus on January the 8th, and we're going to attend that and visit with staff at the Texas Water Development Board to see if there's something we can tap into to address that concern.
Okay. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah.
And I'll go real quick through the rest of them, taking up a lot of y'all's time. Flooding issues in precinct 2, we mapped, not me, Carlos did. Yeah, please, if you don't mind. 700 acres.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning. How many acres did you do?
700.
700. He flew 700 acres with his drone and with the county drone in order to get elevations on the property. There was an email sent this morning by our city manager that where we were at, I informed her that there would be an email coming soon from Mr. Velarde, informing them that what we had done. Bottom line is we'd already flown the property, and then we could come up with a plan. What this is going to affect is going to be from the old Park Service, the Quail Run 3 entrance, from the old Park Service all the way down to basically Walmart, in that area right there. The Mondragon property has been, he wants to develop. Frank Larson, along with Blanca Larson, they want to develop land. But I guess the number one concern is not the development part, but it's trying to help the people at the Darrell Hedges with flooding issues that they have. Pretty much, right? I mean, it would be nice for them to be able to develop, but we need to take care of the problem that we already have, and every time it rains, these people flood. You've flown the area. you're gonna rent a program in order to be able to run a program that, go ahead.
So this is what we've done on December 19, 20, and December 20, we did the aerial mapping with two drones. And then on December 23rd, we took the GPS coordinate of the ground control points. We established at least like 20 ground control points on site. We already did the preliminary LiDAR processing on the area. The corrections with the coordinates, it's already in the works. We have already an ortho map for the site, and we have been renting the software for at least 1 month. That's called Pix4D survey, and then that will give us ground control point classification and the contours. And then we can present the map. But it will take us like a week.
Okay. And I'm sitting here grinning a little bit because he gets really excited about flying his drone and all these programs and stuff, but it's really cool. When he brings it to the court, you'll be able to hit a point, any point that y'all want, and give the elevation on that point, and then be able to map it, and show us exactly which way where the water is running through. Not guessing where it's running through, but actually how it runs, which is pretty impressive. So, that'll be coming for precinct 2, which is, again, just impressive. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Judge.
Precinct 3, you have a gun range that you're working on within the precinct. You've got plenty of help, and you'll have plenty of help just as soon as the environmental, and as soon as we, like you say, as soon as we get go, you'll have hauling material and everything else. You can reach out to Carlos on points and elevations, and as county judge, if you need anything from me.
No, I'll be asking.
Yeah. Well, again, we're not gonna leave you out there by yourself. You'll have help. So you've got the gun range. I know that y'all are still working on Long Park, right? We got restrooms in. They were still waiting to hook stuff up.
And we got a little bit of repair work to do on the splash pad, which should have been already worked on last week.
Okay. So we'll check in on it. They'll give you all an update.
Judge, we're about to get the electric and sewer hooked up at Catalans Park as well.
That's awesome. That's right, we got restrooms in there too, right? I didn't put that on my list. So, Senegas, we've got the Senegas Road project, that we're working on. One of the things that might slow us down there is going to be the water and the sewer line, the trunk line.
The utilities with the city.
Yeah, from the city. So we'll, if you want, we can get Carlos to set up a meeting so we can go visit with them. Carlos, if you don't mind, set up a meeting with them and our engineers to see when they can come down and meet. I know that we've already had a meeting with them on the trunk line, but the city has the money to do the trunk line. I just don't know when they're gonna start. Maybe if we could get a date, even if it's years out, but at least we can plan on doing Senegas Road from the city limits, up to the curb, and then get the drainage area done also. And if we have to wait on that other part, we wait, but at least we're not doing the road and then they're tearing it up. Again, I think we just touched on the $750,000 we're waiting on answer permit, in March, the $750,000 for precinct 4. We're waiting on that, grant money, the answer for that in March is what you just said, right? So as soon as we get that, we'll come forward. Other things that we're working on right now is also gonna be the event center. We'll go out, Kerr, whenever you want. Let me know and we'll go out and we'll show you the points that we shot just because of elevations where that event center would be. We're working on a fire station. Got a email, last week, or a text message. City's still trying to figure out on the land, trying to figure that out, but we're not gonna slow down on getting prices on the actual fire station. We can still get prices on the fire station, do the concrete, rebar, building and everything else so we can move forward on it. This court, when we did Frontera Road, we hauled in a lot of fill material into the soccer fields on Frontera. We put in a sprinkler system, grass sprinkler systems. Now they're asking for lights. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but they're asking for lights. I know that we had some light poles that we did not use, on Alcoa Field. And maybe we go back and figure, that light post should be next door. But if we can figure out what who our contact name is there, the person, so we can go ahead and move those light poles over to the soccer fields to figure out where they could be used. But I think there were 6, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 light poles there, the aluminum light poles. If there's more, that's better, pero. There's going to do the pump station. We've already talked about it. We're going to go out for grants. We'll go out and look for more money. We'll go out for bids. If the bids come in at the same amount, then we're pretty much stuck with whatever the cost is. And then the court's going to have to make a decision with the 355. Are we going to put more money towards it, or do we wait for a grant? But at the end of the day, I mean, that project needs to get done. We've already given it to the city, and I don't think it's right that they're waiting on us for whatever reason. I mean, we can point fingers back and forth, you know, that it wasn't sized for fire hydrant. Doesn't matter at this point. Those are all the projects that I had. I put it on. I'm usually not. Well, I'm always this long-winded, but I just wanted to.
No, I'm glad for the rundown.
I don't know if y'all have any questions on these projects or anything else that y'all might have questions on.
Judge, one project that hopefully we're putting the finishing touches on is that satellite library. Hopefully I'll have rooms detailed, cleaned out, and they're here in a couple of weeks. I have a full crew on Monday, so that's the one thing that I have pending that hopefully will be here.
Maybe we set up a little ribbon cutting and some pictures.
Yes, sir. Okay. That'd be awesome.
Okay. Y'all have anything else? We good? All right. Item 22, it took a long time. Item 22, discussion possible action to approve the distribution of toys donated by San Antonio Shoemakers at the Precinct 2 Self-Help located at 97 Hamilton Lane.
I didn't meet the judge, motion to approve. I had this, donation by San Antonio Shoes, of course, came in a little bit late, but we plan on giving them here in about a week or so for the Dia de los Reyes, so, I appreciate everything to, San Antonio Shoes for their donation. There's a lot of toys.
I'll second that motion. Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. Vice Commissioner, next time when you visit with them, maybe we can distribute some of these amongst the precincts.
Well, and Judge, I was gonna reach out to the other 3 commissioners actually today, and because there's a lot of them, I'm gonna reach out to them.
If you don't mind.
No,
I
I
will.
don't.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 23, I'm sorry, Judge, we just kept you here. Item 23, discussion possible action authorizing Valverde County Court at Law to establish and operate adult drug treatment court within Valverde County Court at Law beginning September 1st, 2025. Before we do this, Judge, item 24 is discussion of possible action authorizing Valverde County Court at Law, adult drug treatment court to apply for the Office of Governor's Criminal Justice Division to apply for the grant monies pursuant to Texas Government Code sections 121.001, 123.001, fiscal year September 1st, 2025 to August 31st, 2026. Are these the same grants? Are they the same grants?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in saying that, Judge.
Well, one is, they're both to the Officer of the Governor.
Mm-hmm.
One is for the Adult Drug Court, which will be replacing the DVI Court,
Mm-hmm.
and it expanded our capabilities of obtaining resources. And then number 25 and 26 is the Juvenile Mental Health Court, which I did apply, but I was not funded by the Governor's office, but I'm reapplying again.
Okay, so my question is, 24 is giving you authority to apply for it,
Yes,
right? And then 23 is already giving you permission to set it up.
yes, sir.
Do you need 23 done now, or could we do 24? Because usually we give permission to apply, and then you bring it back if you get the grant.
No, I need 23 first, so I can go on ahead and proceed and applying within the Valverde County Court of Law.
That's probably the case, Judge, because basically he's changing the name of the program. It's being titled separately. So in order for him to be able to apply for it, he has to show that the court has already approved that change in case the award is granted.
When I submit the application in the latter part of this January or by the 13th of February, which is the deadline, I have to file registration with the Office of Court Administration and with
It
the
just
Office
seems
of
a
Governor.
little bit odder than what we've done it before. It's just different because usually you give permission to apply and then come back and give permission to accept.
Well, that's funds.
I don't think you're,
No,
I don't think 23
I'm asking the
is
questions, I
accepted.
don't get it, so.
yeah, I think 23 is basically just allowing the judge to get permission from the court to approve the change, because basically, as I understand it, and I've had this discussion with the judge before, the whole purpose of making this change is to expand the availability of potential resources beyond just DWI cases. We're talking about an adult drug case, or court rather, which would encompass DWI, but also encompass other things, which means it expands his ability to reach different resources.
So I'm gonna ask more questions here. So we do 23, we do 24. If for some reason something pops up, he gets the grant, we don't have the ability not to
No,
accept it.
all you've done, Judge, is approve.
That's what I'm getting at.
Right, you haven't, he still has to come back, and this court still has to accept the grant once it's awarded. Yeah,
I'm only applying.
I think
That's what I'm trying to get to.
That's your concern.
Well, that's why I put in 24 applying, and it's in bold, not bold, but in caps.
No, and my deal is, there has to be a step to come back and let the court accept.
Right. Yeah, all 23 is doing is basically showing the governor's office that the commissioner's court has authorized the establishment of the adult drug court.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that they've approved whatever grant is to be awarded in the future. That's a step that the judge would still have to come back for this court
And
to.
that's what I
to
need to
accept
say.
the grant. Yes, sir.
That's what I need to say.
And that's my intent when I presented these line items to the county judge's office. 23 and 25 gives me the authority to register these courts with Office of Court Administration, which is a prerequisite to applying to the grants. 24 and 26, I'm applying for the grants, but I'm only applying. I'm not accepting any grants. So the fact that you approve the creation of these courts within the court of law does not mean that I can accept any grants.
No, and I just needed that said.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll do item 23, we'll go down the list. Item 23, discussion possible action authorizing Valverde County Court at Law to establish and operate the adult drug treatment court within the Valverde County Court at Law beginning September 1st, 2025. A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. Anybody have any questions?
There's a typo on my name on the bottom of the form of item 23 and 24.
I apologize for that.
Okay, appreciate it. Any other questions? I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 24, discussion possible action authorizing.
Motion to approve that item, Judge, as presented.
Thank you, sir. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. Any questions on this one? None? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 25, discussion possible action authorizing Valverde County Court at Law.
Motion to approve as presented.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez. You gonna say?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Flores. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? None. All in favor? 5-0. Motion passes. Item 26, discussion possible action authorizing.
Motion to approve item, Judge, as presented.
Item, Commissioner Vasquez made a motion. Second, Commissioner Flores. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I just wanted to make a quick comment if I can.
Of course.
This young lady is a Sul State University student. She's an intern. I just want to present her to the court. Her name is Mariah Renee Cardenas. She started on the 26th of December, and she'll be working with us, helping us out in the court. So thank you so much. The young lady that was there before, she is now working with the county attorney's office beginning, I think, next week. Nicole. And just want you to know. Nayeli, I'm sorry, Nayeli Durante, yes. And just want you to know that some of the other interns that I've had in the past have already been hired, not only at state level, but now two of them are working at the federal level with pretrial services and probation services.
So law student?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Criminal justice.
Criminal justice?
Yes.
Okay. You just start, how many more years, or what do we got?
I graduate spring of 2026.
Okay, now you're there.
So they're junior, they have to be either juniors or seniors.
Mhm.
So I just want to thank the court for the opportunity,
Well,
to
good
have
luck.
these interns.
Thank you
luck.
so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The last thing I wanted to tell the court, and I've already mentioned this to the county judge, was that I've helped JP Lopez and the other JPs when they've had some scheduling conflicts with inquests and with magistrations. I told the county judge that in the meantime, if I need to help the judges, I will help them with inquests and with magistrations for a week or so. And I'll still extend that same courtesy to the court and to the JPs in the event that Judge Salinas is not able to come on board right away.
I appreciate that, Judge.
Yeah.
Thank you so
And I
much.
really do thank you for helping them because they have to put their civil and criminal cases on hold because they can't have those hearings. But I'll be more than glad to assist them. Let me know if I can help you. I can start right away and help them with inquests and with the magistrations. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you for the
Good luck
comments.
and congratulations.
Thank you.
May be excused.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Okay. Item 27, discussion possible action on request. Okay.
Second, Judge?
And motion Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 28, discussion possible.
I will second that, Judge.
Okay. Y'all got any questions? It's all good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Devin, that's the shit.
Thank you.
Item 29, discussion possible action to approve the addition of a new account for electrical service at the Jesse Cardenas Park, Precinct 1, and authorize county judge to sign.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Second.
Motion Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Wardlaw. Any discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 30, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of a new.
Motion to approve.
Motion Commissioner Flores,
Yes, sir.
second Commissioner Vasquez. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 31, discussion possible action for approval to declare the
Motion to
following.
approve, consent, Judge. I will second that, Judge.
I have a motion Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. También, Gavin Vasquez. Item 32, discussion possible action approving HR report for the
Motion to
period.
approve as presented, Judge.
A motion Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. Anybody have any questions? Everything good? Juanita?
Yes, sir.
All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 33, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071, contemplated litigation, C 551.072 regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property and possible action, open session thereafter, D 551.073 regarding a negotiated contract, lease, or value of real property and possible action, open session thereafter, E 551.076 regarding security device, security audits, and/or security personnel. If y'all will give us the room, we'll take a little break and then we'll come in executive session.
Yeah.
All right, lights on. We're back from executive session. No action was taken. We talked a lot. 10:52. We'll go to commissioners' comments. If any of the commissioners have any comments, any one of the four. What?
I'd like to say it's an honor to be here, and honor to be on the court.
Well, that's awesome. Anybody else? Okay, we'll go to county judges' comments. Again, welcome to the two new commissioners. I think we're gonna have a wonderful life together. I saw that. Was that positive? I really do. Though. Congratulations to both of y'all. It takes a lot. Jessica, tell me to be quiet. It takes a lot
to put your name in the hat. Everything that y'all have been through, running and everything, it's just, it takes a lot, from y'all and y'all's family. Congratulations. Thank y'all for doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Item 36, motion to adjourn.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0.